hot wings, hot topics, and real estate. Host Ryan Spellerberg keeps it real with agents, investors, and insiders every month. No fluff, just good convo exploring the trends, challenges, and questions shaping today's market. Now, here's your host with over 20 years of lending experience, Ryan Spellerberg.
They're on fire. Hey everybody, Ryan Spellerberg, mortgage guy, here with another episode of Hot Topics. We've got Ashley Smith here. It's going to be a fun one. So she said she's seen this, and she actually legitimately says she's really good with heat, so not just me making fun of it. Yeah. So why don't you get after the first one? It's just nice, easy, medium buffalo, thanks to our sponsors, Atomic Wings. They do a phenomenal job. Everybody eats there after they come here. So today's guest is the kind of realtor who makes the whole process feel less like a transaction and more like you've just got a best friend in your corner. Ashley Smith is with Keller Williams here in Sioux Falls. I have a feeling it's going to be fun. Ashley, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, how was the first wing?
Happy to be here. Not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. She said she's really good with heat. So
well, really good to spike.
We will cook through them just fine.
Okay, great.
Okay, so first question. So who are you? How'd you get into real estate? And before you answer that, I'm supposed to ask how many unread texts you have on your phone right now.
Who's asking?
Just word on the street is that's.
Oh Lord. I will say it's never my clients. It's always. But yeah, I do have a few unread text messages.
Okay,
my type B personality sometimes really kicks in. So
let's hear your story.
So I got my license when I was on maternity leave with our first baby. My husband owns Smith Development Company in town, so he's a builder. At the time, he was doing a lot of developments, so had 18 to 20 homes going at a time. So it just made sense for me to get my license. I went to school for nursing. I was a nurse at the time, so kind of transitioned into real estate at that time.
Got it. So how long?
Oh gosh, that was in 2018.
Okay.
So 8 years.
And when did you land with the Doin team?
I've been with Greg's team for a couple years now.
Got it.
Yeah.
He seems extremely sharp.
Yeah.
Well-run team.
Yeah.
Tara's a...
Great. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, she's a rock star.
Yeah.
It's a really good place to be.
She runs the show. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
So first wing was good?
First swing was good. Yep.
You're gonna love the second one.
Okay.
It's Nashville dry rub.
Okay.
So it's just a little base pepper heat. You'll be just fine. Okay, so being a Taylor Swift fan,
Oh, yeah.
I have to ask, if Taylor called you today and she was moving to Sioux Falls
Yeah.
and wanted you to be her realtor, what's your first response and where do you start with T Swift?
Be like, girl, let's get you a house.
Where do you get started with T Swift?
Yeah, where do you get started? I mean, she could do whatever she wanted. I would do whatever Taylor Swift told me to do, honestly.
How many concerts have you been to?
Just one. I wish it was more, but only one.
Where?
Minneapolis. The Eras Tour.
Was it as amazing as they say?
It was amazing.
I think next time she tours, I will go because I love Taylor Swift too.
Yeah. I mean, the energy it's amazing.
It's like a 2 or 3 hour concert, isn't it?
Like 3. And it's like everyone is so happy to be there. So it's good.
Got it.
Good.
So,
Worth the money.
You're T Swifty. She's your realtor. Make it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, next one is Hot Buffalo.
Okay.
Starts to get a little warmer.
Okay.
So, as you mentioned, you're married to Brady, who builds some of the nicest homes in Sioux Falls. Extremely high quality. I've never heard a complaint from somebody that's built with him. So that's always good to hear. There are a few husband and wife teams in the industry.
Yeah.
But it's pretty rare. So what are the pros and cons of that dynamic with both of you being in it? Because sometimes you got to shut it off.
Oh, for sure. That is the con, I would say. It's like you're constantly
working,
going back to conversations revolving around work, or, oh shit, I forgot to tell you I scheduled this, or we have this day, whatever. Pros would be, I mean, we're both equally very invested. Oh my God. That one was pretty spicy.
Getting a little more to it?
Yeah. And really in it together, which is nice. Sometimes it's a little bit too much togetherness time, but in the best way, so.
But I think it's important because we'll get into some more questions about that later on, but just having both of you be in the real estate world, having that experience, it's got to be positive.
For sure. For my clients, even outside of our building clients, it's really nice to have him in my back pocket as I'm going through transactions because, things always come up here and there. And
so would you say a competitive edge?
I think so.
I would think so too.
Yeah, it's helpful for sure.
And I'm sure it helps when, Brady's going to build for somebody, you can help list their home, get it sold. there's pros and cons
Yeah.
of both of that, but most of it is pros having you both in the industry.
Yeah, and I know exactly the timeline and updates for that client too. So it does help when we all work together.
And being a little bit more realistic on both sides, because sometimes
Yes.
the agent and the builder relationship is not that strong.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's combative, and
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's just not your nature between the two of you.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's a huge one, I guess.
Okay.
But
Number 4
oh god.
is mango habanero, a little bit sweeter, but it's got some heat to it, so
That one was
be prepared for it.
nervous.
So, I mean, every day we hear about something different happening in the market. With all that's going on in the world right now, what are you seeing in the Sioux Falls market for real estate?
Our build clients, I've been very surprised at how many custom build inquiries we've had. The custom side of the business has been super good. I do have some really nice listings right now, and sometimes they sell in like 2 hours and you're getting multiple offers, and you don't really, you expect it to sell quickly, but you're like, whoa, that was faster than I thought. And some of the really, really nice ones are sitting a little bit longer.
Is there a
than
different
you
price
expect.
point?
Yeah. I would say over 400,000. I feel like sits just a little bit longer than anything underneath. But overall, it's a little bit of a confusing market at times right now, I would say.
What do those conversations sound like with your buyers right now? Because there is always a reason to wait. And I get that a lot from
Yes.
different people.
Yeah.
We're going to wait because the election's coming up. We're going to wait
For sure.
for interest rates. We're going to wait for Iran.
Yeah.
How do you convince somebody the best time to buy is yesterday, next best time is today?
I just really try to stress that, like, you have to do what's best for you and your family, and all those outside factors, it's going to be there regardless of what decision you make. And so if you're at a point in your life where you're able to financially move up or get your first house or, ready to downsize, whatever the case may be, really leaning into doing what's best for you at the time and not focusing on, the outside factors that you can't control regardless. So
I had a nurse one time tell me, I really need to wait till after the election. Why?
I know. I know.
You're still going to have your job. There's nothing happening in nursing right now where,
Right.
that
Right.
sometimes can be a little scary if it's going to affect your job. But
If it's job security, yeah.
for most people, that's not an issue.
No, not luckily where we are in the nation. I don't think it's,
You're typically going to be okay.
we're lucky here.
Yeah.
In Sioux
Okay.
Falls.
How was that one?
It was not as bad.
You
I
gotta-
liked the sweet flavor. I think maybe I didn't get all the sauce.
Yeah. Make sure you get it on the next
I
one.
learned a strategy.
The next one is Atomic. These are the ones that I will just go, and these are the ones I order when I go here. So
Seriously?
they're very good. Good flavor to them. If you like heat, you're great.
Okay.
So you have a client call you, and they're trying to decide between building or buying an existing home. There's probably nobody better in town to have that conversation with because you see both sides of it. So
Yeah.
how do you walk them through that decision? Or what are those deciding factors?
I will a lot of times just show them some houses that they're interested in looking at and see how they react as we're walking through houses. And you can usually get a feel like, hey, maybe it's worth customizing everything to your guys' liking, versus walking through all these houses that are the same price point, but it's just not giving you everything that you're looking for.
Sure.
For some people, it makes perfect sense to buy existing. Either they're a little bit too indecisive and it's just too overwhelming for them, and the unknowns of the building process can be kind of overwhelming. Price point, that kind of things. But
My wife's family would be the worst client in the world.
Yeah.
Because they cannot make a decision to save their lives versus
right.
Emily, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
She would be a dream for a builder because she makes a decision, she goes with it.
Yeah, which is amazing. Obviously, we work alongside a designer. We have a wonderful team. We have people there to help. But, sometimes it's just.
It always comes down to cost per square foot for a lot of people.
I know.
And that's a really hard number to give to somebody because
Yes.
their finishes will change that, what they decide to do, their lot costs.
Any upgrades they might have. Yeah, for sure.
So typically, what is the cost per square foot roughly of new construction versus if you're going to buy existing?
Well, you're going to get more bang for your buck if you're buying existing. It's so hard. I would say Brady, our price per square foot approximately is about $380. If you're buying existing, that is, within the last 5 years. I mean, it's going to be more affordable.
Yeah.
But, you're not getting to
Exactly what you
customize
want.
every single detail. Everything's not brand new. There's not a builder warranty connected to that. So, pros and cons both ways.
Yep. Okay. Well, good to know. It's good to know somebody is out there that will help them walk through that and how you make that decision. Sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't make more sense for you to custom build because we built back in 2016.
Yeah.
And our realtor showed us a bunch of houses
Mm-hmm.
and finally just said the same thing. You guys need to build a house. You're just not going to find what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And took themselves out of the transaction. It was crazy. But they just decided like,
a
hey,
good agent.
it's not for you. So we
Yeah.
custom built and we got what we wanted.
Yep.
So
And it was, probably the right decision for you guys.
how you
So,
doing? Heat wise? Yeah?
That one kind of kicked my butt.
Okay.
I can't
Well,
believe you just choose that.
that's the good one. That's just got a really good flavor to it, but it's hot too.
Yeah,
So,
my lips are like, oh my God.
now the rule on the last wing is you have to eat the entire last wing.
Oof.
That's
Ryan.
It's written. It's in
Okay.
stone.
All right.
Well,
We're going to try.
I'll let you get after that.
Okay.
So you've probably been in real estate long enough to have some fun stories.
Yeah.
What's the best client story that you can think of?
Okay. That's a good question.
I think there's been so many for me. I had somebody back out of a house because a new construction house once because somebody went to the bathroom in the bathroom and left it there.
Stop.
They backed out of the transaction completely.
Oh, that's like a
there's
builder's
all kinds of
worst
stuff
nightmare.
like that.
Yeah, for sure. You want a positive or a negative? Positive?
Let's have some fun.
Okay.
Maybe start with your negative and then go into the fun one as you're continuing to eat your wing.
Well, we've had tough situations where financing has fallen through a couple days before closing
On a custom?
on no, it was a spec.
Okay.
But that was a tough lesson to learn because we had done some customizing of that house and, even getting that earnest money didn't cover that cost. So,
Sure. Yep. What would you have done differently?
Probably ask for a bigger deposit to cover those upgrades and or just agree to do it after closing. But, hindsight is 2020. Brady, we started the business when we were fresh out of college. So you learn over the years. This was quite a few years ago. But yeah, that's probably one of my worst horror stories, I guess you could say.
You kind of pay for an education is what you're doing. So as long as it's not too big of a mistake, usually you can get through it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You live and you learn.
I had a builder put in just this god-awful black shower, black tile for somebody custom.
Sure.
And then they couldn't close. I had to tear out the whole bathroom,
Oh, gosh.
do it again.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Yeah. That sounds awful.
Yeah. So that custom stuff is where you guys can get in trouble on the builder side.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any fun ones on the real estate side?
I guess a fresh one in my brain. I love working with first-time home buyers, but one that I have in mind, my clients that had a house for sale. We had found their house, surprisingly, before we got their house ready for sale. And then, of course, the house that they found got a backup offer that wasn't contingent house close.
Okay. So meaning I've got
Or contingent house
I
sale.
want to make an offer, but I still
Yes.
have to sell my house.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
offer came in, didn't have that contingency.
Yes. And so obviously that was stressful, not exciting for them. We had 72 hours to get their house under contract. We ended up getting 2 offers, but it was like within 6 hours of that contingency falling apart. So we got it together.
Nice.
And it was a big win for everyone. But yeah, that's a positive.
That's a
story.
huge win.
Yeah, huge win. It can be very stressful.
Got it.
When you find a house before you're ready to, usually we wouldn't do that, but they were, kind of looking off and on. And so it wasn't consistent enough for us to get their house on the market at
Got
that
it.
time. And it just happened and worked out. So
That's a tough one because people don't want to sell their house before they find something.
And be
then when they
homeless.
do,
Yeah.
then they have to try and do this contingency. It makes your offer weaker. It's hard, but sometimes
It's a hard
just
balance.
selling and moving is the better thing.
I know.
And then finding the house.
Yeah, depending on all of your,
Right.
the points of your situation.
Makes your offer stronger. Sucks to move twice. I get it.
Yeah,
So
I know.
how you doing?
Been better.
Okay. Good.
Sweating a little bit. I don't know if I can eat that whole last wing. What is that?
It's nuclear. They do
something.
They do a 10-wing challenge where if you can get through it, you get your picture on the wall.
Well, this is almost. I didn't
Well,
need them
it's
all.
10 of the nuclear.
And you got okay.
So
My picture won't be on.
you
the
can
wall.
give that.
Is your
a run.
picture on the wall?
It's not yet.
Oh.
It'll be on there someday.
All right. Yeah.
I think I can handle it.
Aim high, friend.
Okay, so what's coming up for you and Brady?
Yeah.
How do people get in touch with you? What sets you apart?
Our business, I would say what sets us apart, we are on the job site, specifically Brady, every single day. He's very hands-on, very involved. First person, I mean, he communicates directly with the clients all the time, which could be a good and bad thing. But, very, very...
It's hard to over-communicate as a builder. It really sets you apart if you communicate well.
Yes, 100%. And it's a lot of times hard to even get a hold of him. So he's very even-tempered and deals with the things with clients very calmly, which I feel like sets him apart from other builders.
You got to
Sometimes that
know
can be
this guy.
hard
He
to
is
do.
just stable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never, I can't see him getting mad.
Mm-hmm.
Just even-keeled.
Yeah. So he handles things very, very well. I mean, our quality is amazing. I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
But,
I'll be proud of it.
we have amazing subcontractors who we trust and work with, and our designer's phenomenal. So I feel like we've really just dialed in the process for our clients. And they can reach out to me anytime.
Yeah.
I like to do a lot of the communicating with the clients and like the front end work, the contracts, the market. I'm very unqualified, our only marketing director, but when it's a family owned business, you kind of
Right.
take care of everything yourself. So
That's why I think some of, again, very rare to have that where both of you are in it, but the ones that do it well,
yeah, for
it
sure.
makes a difference.
It does make a huge difference, I think, because we kind of fill in the gaps. We're a team, and the things he's good at, I'm not as good at, and vice versa. The things that I'm more strong at, he's a little bit weaker at. So it works well.
That's same with Emily and I.
Yeah.
She's great at everything. I do nothing right. So it works out for everybody that she
And
covers
you're gonna
everything.
get all the brownie points.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm the funny one, and that's really about it. So when Emily tells people what I do, she goes, that's what I do.
It works well for you.
It works really
look
well.
It's got
Yeah,
you this far.
right. Yeah, exactly. So thanks for coming on.
Yes.
If
Thanks
you
for
need
having
a
me.
great tandem of a builder, realtor, these guys do a fantastic job. I remember my first deal that I closed with Brady. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And rarely will people build with the same builder again.
Yeah.
I've never had anybody say anything about not building with you again. So
Yeah.
great job.
Thank you.
Thanks for visiting. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks.